Kurumjiri and welcome to SKTV News. You are watching Afternoon English News with me, Jessie Thiam. Now, as usual, giving you the headlines first. Widespread sit-in protest erupt over arrest of Arambai Tenggol members. Protesters demand release of arrested members, including Asem Kanan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets BJP MLAs and MPs in Delhi, but skips meeting MLAs on crisis, asserts Congress leader Jairam Ramesh. A person in Rehabilitation Center found hanging inside toilet dies despite immediate rescue efforts. And Air India flight to London carrying 242 passengers crashes near Gujarat's Ahmedabad airport this afternoon. Now giving you the news in detail. Kuki Inpi, Ghari Inpi and Hyangthang Naral Konjil Merapai jointly staged a sit-in protest today at Kuki Inpi Community Hall against the deliberate policy by the central and state governments to divert public attention from the ongoing conflict. Speaking to media, President of Ghari Makhalaikai Merapai Huirem Saroja condemned the authority for allegedly diverting public attention from the main issue by arresting Arambai Tenggol members. She asserted that the youths took up arms to safeguard the state from Kuki militants, and she demanded the authority to arrest the women folk instead of arresting Arambai Tenggol, who had even surrendered their arms and have been consistently putting its effort in helping the society. Furthermore, Saroja accused the authority of bringing up different issues to divert public attention from the main issue. She also alleged that the authority failed to apprehend Kuki militants involved in various criminal activities during the conflict. And Saroja further reiterated the commitment of the state's women folk to stand for the youths.
Kanglada like Congress Pasinatana way, Ganasu Sassina Aran Masi came to Tokre. Don't have the quick Hangeva. Although could I tell a Saliba Sassina to Boo, lining but Saliba to Boo, Ipuruk and never Saliba to Nasiti, Lalo Wani, Kulai by have the Pabi by say, a quick imagine the away, Madon Yabasuma, Ihoa Makidamati, Ihoa and Sandaba, Shuleta, Marat, Suleta, Mahase, Ishua Manipur, Mutaki Bagidamata, Ishu the Namda Ridamata, Nasi, Imalebaki. Madam Suleta, Isase, Panama, Mayama Pansalaga, Mayam Pansalaga City, Isada, Akwagi Mayamsi, a choice, Isada and somebody. Mase, Akwagi Ipuru, Akwagi, Akwagi, Manipur Mutakiba, Masi Hote, Namdana, Nabana, Isasa, Maranchi, but I have said, Masim is a two rights again. Is asking the Maranchi, but we are right. Is Akima, when Mamma, when the Lepony, Akwagi, can never is asking Arambai Asida, Aran, we acquit the climb of Bible later, although among the part of the Yoja, among the whole of Maroy, the way. Look part of that way, Yoja, some man.
Sogolban Lokam Leirak Merapai also staged a sit-in at Lokam Leirak Community Hall today against the government for arresting Arambai Tenggol members. The protesters asserted that Arambai Tenggol members are not criminals and that they took up arms to safeguard the state from Kuki militants. They also said that the real criminal is the state government, as it failed to resolve the conflict and safeguard its citizens and properties. Speaking to media, Secretary of Sogolban Lokam Leirak Merapai Laisham Jibalata expressed strong opposition against the government for its attempt to arrest Arambai Tenggol members. She also reiterated the state women folks' commitment to continue its protest until the release of Asem Kanan, and the protesters raised various slogans during the protest.
Arambai Singbo, Makoina Song Toga, Honoriba Sida,
Habiba, Pundiba, Tobi, say, Akoyam and Wizard, Makoin, Awaba Tabata, Akoy Mara Baby, my Bians in that, Loina Makogi, Sabu Yazagani, Makogi Awaba Koina, Makogi, the Matan Akagani, Hina, Koipuna Makoran, Siki Tarnas, Lana Sita, Toy by Satingu, Primian Oina, Laura Gadi, Ekoisu, Loina Pabiro, Ekoisu, Lan Sida, Loina Yawi, Primian. Government ni moina pelar oi bedagini kanan thadok ti phau ekoi khongjang andok loi kanan jo tek takai na thadok piu hai bese mera pai bisinga pai thijari
Singjamaiwa Kumlei Kai Arambai Tenggol also staged a sit-in today at its locality against the authority for arresting Arambai Tenggol members. Speaking to media, Secretary of the Arambai Tenggol, Chalba, questioned the authorities' reason for arresting prominent Arambai Tenggol member Asem Kanan on June 7. She demanded the unconditional release of Kanan and also reiterated the women folk's commitment to continue its protest until the release of Kanan. The protesters raised various slogans and held placards during the protest.
Lebaksida Turiba Lansida, Awana Titana, Mayonga Ribaisa Singbu, criminal ni haibigi Monga, Hava Pulbata, Mama with the Kunea Zaninde, Atuba Matamda, Party Baisa Kanan, Tado Piu, Aduga Sumama and the Tado, Ragadi, Mama with the Equisu, Habiro, Haibigi Konga, Dune Queen and Asipamga, Tanama, Kamzaribas. It's asking the Tado Travata, Ragadi, Makata, Nakanakan Bakungang, Mayama, Lieutenant Sanjini.
Women folk today staged sit-ins at various localities in Singjamay area, demanding the immediate release of the arrested Arambai Tenggol members. The sit-in protests were organized by Singjamay Jingamaka, Sana Kongnang, Mera Paibi, Saiwon, Singjamay Jingamaka, Meshnam Laikai, Apunba Mera Paibi, Jingamaka Ningtojam Laikai, Yanglem Laikai, Ibutho Luwang Pokpa, Nupi Lup, and SWC Apunba Mera Paibi in their localities. Speaking on the sideline of a sit-in protest organized at Singjamay Jingamaka Meshnam Laikai, spokesperson of Singjamay Jingamaka Meshnam Laikai Apunba Mera Paibi, RK Gita, highlighted the role taken by Arambai Tenggol in defending the state from Kuki aggression since the onset of the ongoing crisis on May 3, 2023. Further denouncing the crackdown against Arambai Tenggol members by security forces and central government agencies, she demanded the unconditional release of the arrested members of Arambai Tenggol at the earliest.
India Sakana to the criminal, Moino, the criminal, India Saka with the double, Manipur, about Isashin, Ogabanati, Adon Isashin, Lansi, Mayong Naraga, and Manipur, the India woman, Manipur Police can get a total Isashin never. Asira Quaki India Saka, Manipur Sakana, part of the people was there. Mama will be a queen at the Yadi, Aduna, Bakona Sangiba Kongjan Panamak, Mama will go to more part of the Mama could Pabiro Ibase, Aduin Matakoi, Nanasi, Pamzabani.
Uruparapti Apunba Merapabilup and Udako took out a public rally today protesting against the arrest of Asem Kanan by CBI on June 7. The rally started from Arapti Mayay Laikai, Kangjebung ground and passed through Lilong Bridge and Yaibi Bridge. Speaking on a sideline, chairperson of Urup Arapti Apunba Merapabilup, Ashem Memtoy, condemned the arrest of Arambai Tenggol's Commander-in-Chief Security. She asserted that Arambai Tenggol have been safeguarding the people and villages since the start of violent conflict in May 2023, as government failed to do its duty of protecting the civilians. While demanding immediate release of Asem Kanan, the Merapabi leader also warned of intensifying the agitation if their demand is not fulfilled.
Akoigi Asyengi Kanan, Arambai Tenggol Masih Hajan ki base, akoi sarkar ki magaida atu matam da thadok piu, kun nga pamasung Arambai Tenggol phabiganu, isa singsina mama lebak Manipur ki damakta song thorok tana thawai na kubak ta hapaga mama lebak kandaba yate haina song thoi isa singbu khulai oina sijanaraga haujing na onjalaga isa sing da phaba punba tawba habase akoi maitai praja ama oina mama moina yaningde habase akoi sarkar ki magaida phongdok chari loina na phatana pundana sum tawbi Mama akoi se maru oina phabiu mama akoina isa singjibu thongna hapaga khunga minabane haibase sarkar gi magaida akoi sauna phongna haijari.
Congress leader Jairam Ramesh slammed Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the central government for its inability to resolve the ongoing 2-year-long conflict of Manipur. In a post on X, the Congress leader criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi for meeting BJP MLAs and MPs of Delhi while giving no appointment to BJP MLAs of Manipur. It may be mentioned that Jairam Ramesh has consistently called out the central government over its failure to resolve the conflict. In a tragic incident, a 21-year-old inmate died under mysterious circumstances after he was allegedly found hanging inside a de-addiction cum rehabilitation center named Arambai Tenggol, located at Naral Konjil, Makhalaikai in Imphal West District yesterday. The deceased person is identified as Juan Acho alias Jackson, son of late S. Inau of Thobal Hauka Mamanglaikai. While expressing suspicion of foul play behind the incident, the deceased family claimed that they found Jackson as a dead body when they visited to see him at Island Hospital located at Kanchipu after the authorities concerned informed them about the incident. The family added that the hospital reported that Jackson was brought to the hospital at around 1:15 yesterday in connection with a hanging case. Continuing that, they found no reasonable ground for Jackson committing suicide by hanging himself from the bar of a toilet inside the rehabilitation center. When they visited the site, Jackson's family demanded justice for the incident. The dead body of Jackson was deposited at RIMS mortuary and a case has been registered at Wangoi police station in this connection. In another tragic incident, an Air India plane carrying 242 passengers has crashed after takeoff in Gujarat's Ahmedabad airport. As per an Air India statement, the flight was taking off from Ahmedabad to Gatwick, London at the time of the crash. Among the 242 passengers, 169 are Indian nationals, 53 are British nationals, 1 Canadian national and 7 Portuguese nationals. As per Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, the aircraft was under the command of Captain Sumit Sabharwal with First Officer Clive Kunder. As per ATC, the flight gave a mayday call to ATC, but thereafter no response was given by the aircraft to the calls made by ATC. Aircraft immediately after departure from runway 23 fell on the ground outside the airport perimeter. Heavy black smoke was seen coming from the accident site, and former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani is also suspected to be on board the Air India plane to London. The Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft departed from Ahmedabad at 1:38 p.m. this afternoon and crashed shortly after it took off. Rescue and relief operations are underway at the site of the Air India plane crash. And so far, the total number of casualties could not be confirmed. However, several casualties are feared in the crash. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reportedly spoken to both Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu and Home Minister Amit Shah and asked them to go to Ahmedabad and ensure all possible assistance is provided to the affected persons. Arambai Tenggol has clarified that it has no intention of storming governor's residence or government offices in protest against the arrest of its prominent member, Asem Kanan. And the organization stated it will pursue only democratic forms of protest. In a press release, the organization announced that it has called off the 10-day general strike in order to begin staging sit-ins and other similar forms of protest. It may be mentioned that the 10-day general strike was called off after the 3rd day. The cleanup work at flood-ravaged Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Sciences, Janims, has been completed with week-long effort from personnel of Manipur Fire Service. The hospital had been rendered non-operational after flood water inundated the hospital compound recently. And personnel of Manipur Fire Service have been put on war footing to clean the sludge and water that were accumulated after the flooding. With the completion of the cleanup work, Jenims will begin its normal operation soon. All Naga Students Association Manipur Ansam has vowed to support the movement against the scrapped of Free Movement Regime (FMR) and Indo-Myanmar border fencing in the Naga inhabited areas. In a press release, Ansam decried that the scrapping of FMR and Indo-Myanmar border fencing along the Naga inhabited areas has greatly affected the history, identity, customs, traditional rights, and the ancestral lands of Naga people, adding that it will never support the centre's move. Meanwhile, the students' organization has also announced to extend full support to the non-cooperation movement declared by Senapati District Students Association against the SP and additional SP Law and Order of Senapati District for their alleged unprofessional conduct and mishandling of a peaceful democratic agitation. Kuki Inpi Manipur Kim has condemned the National Investigation Agency (NIA) for calling its federating units Kuki Inpi Tenggol as an insurgent group. In a press note that was released in connection with the arrest of 3 individuals in connection with attack IRB post in More. In a press note, Secretary of Information and Publicity Kim Janghaldon Haukip described the allegation as baseless, inflammatory and deeply irresponsible, warning that such mischaracterization could gravely impact peace and community relations in Manipur. It further maintained that the branding of Kuki Inpi Tenggol as an insurgent group reflects grave ignorance, institutional irresponsibility and a dangerous distortion of the truth. Kim has demanded that the NIA immediately retract the allegation, issue a formal clarification and initiate respectful dialogue with indigenous institutions. The organization also warned that continued insensitivity and institutional misrepresentation could compel the community to seek all democratic avenues to defend their identity and future. Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity, Kokomi Farmers Wing organized a one-day conference on the topic Uncultivated Affected Areas in Manipur at Manipur Press Club today. It saw the presence of Kokomi Farmers Wing Convener A.B. Ilangbam, Co-Convener K. Thoiba, El Kiran, El Sham, and N. Irabod. Addressing at the event, A.B. Ilangbam expressed concern over the inability of state farmers to cultivate their lands, warning that this could result in a potential shortage of crops in the future. He emphasized that the relevant authorities should take up necessary security measures to ensure safe farming. A.B. Ilangbam also urged the government to provide compensation to farmers who were unable to cultivate their land last year in accordance with the assurances previously given by the authorities.
Low Pananaba, Aduga Mahimarong Tananaba, very initiative Lokachiki Haidana, Tanner Tignaraga Lakoni, do 2025 Kipoina, Hokiba, Tang Tarukta, Kuki Secretary, Short Block, high level officials in Jiga, Akugi Lumi organization in Jiga, Paminagi. Paminaban Numito Dazo, Equi. Si Manipuri affected village Singjida very initiative security very initiative lokachige aduga DC jina tamaina concern lahon jige haibigi matang dejo ko yam kumna khanaki madugi follow up oina madugi makha tabo oina akoi district level da monitoring committee semaga mai magi district da akoi shoiba mafam jingdo maduda akoi monitoring tawdana hantakti Fajana low panba yanaba mahimarong thaba yanaba honagani haiba adugi decision amakoi luminai masigi thabuk oina ekoi chatharakani haiba wapam jijo ekoi gi medagi thongda thanjage.
Larankabi Youth Dramatic Union celebrated its 58th Foundation Day at Sakdo Hall, Larankabi today. During the celebration, young artists showcased their talents including traditional songs and dances. And senior artists of the union were also presented with gifts as tribute as part of the celebration. Now giving you the national news, the Narendra Modi-led central government is planning to implement a 33% reservation for women in the Lok Sabha beginning with the 2029 general elections. In a news report that is published at India Today, the move follows the passage of the Nari Shakti Vandan Act, a constitutional amendment bill designed to increase women's representation in national politics. The women's reservation provisions will come into effect only after a fresh delimitation of parliamentary constituencies. Currently, there is a statutory freeze on delimitation until 2026. For any delimitation to proceed thereafter, a constitutional amendment will be necessary, requiring approval of both houses of parliament. According to the report, necessary preparations are underway to ensure the delimitation exercise can be initiated once the freeze is lifted. A delimitation commission will be constituted and it is expected to visit states, collect representations, and prepare a report before recommending any changes. The 15th and last census in India was conducted in 2011 and was rescheduled from 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the delimitation has been held in India 4 times during 1952, 1963, 1973, and 2002. Giving you the sports news. All Manipur Football Association Imphal has announced that the second Premier League 2025-26, which was temporarily suspended due to poor condition of Lamlong Thongkong artificial turf ground, will resume on June 15. In a press release, the association informed that football club Rengdai None and Angtha FC will face each other in the first match, while Athletic Brothers Association Ketrigal and Southern Sporting Union Singjamay will face each other in the second match. The league was sponsored by Sikh Babu Macha Memorial Trust and it was participated by 18 different teams. Now the weather report. According to ICR Regional Center Imphal, state's maximum temperature was recorded at 33.6 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 21.5 degrees Celsius. The maximum relative humidity was measured to be 84% in the morning and 43% in the evening. Now before we end, let's take a quick look at the headlines once again. Widespread sit-in protests erupt over arrest of Arambai Tenggol members. Protesters demand release of arrested members, including Asem Kanan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets BJP MLAs and MPs in Delhi, but skips meeting MLAs on crisis, asserts Congress leader J. Ram Ramesh. A person in Rehabilitation Center found hanging inside toilet dies despite immediate rescue efforts. And Air India flight to London carrying 242 passengers crashes near Gujarat's Ahmedabad airport this afternoon. Well, that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching SKTV News and keep watching for more news updates.